I never thought I'd be doing this much coverage on Eternals after watching the movie.
Honestly, yeah, because you were all like, I hate this movie.
Yeah.
I don't like it at all. It sucks.
Let's not give people reasons to click away so soon. Welcome, folks. I am Jaby Koay, joined by ACHARA the KIRK. To all of you guys who love Eternals, I apologize in advance if I have anything remotely negative to say or contribute in this video towards Eternals. We're watching Honest Trailers Eternals. Thank you, Screen Junkies, for allowing us to react to this. Very, very much appreciate you all. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, please. Bell icon, all notifications, and vote this up to let YouTube know you're enjoying what you're watching. Hopefully you are. This is a shorter Honest trailer. It's 5 minutes and 50 seconds. A little bit surprised.
Maybe they didn't have a lot to say.
Because it was so amazing. How can you bash it? How can you make fun of it?
Well, we'll find out. Do Eternals, I hated it.
Oh yeah, it's a little surprising they didn't do it sooner.
That's true.
Has taken you out to the edge of the universe, down to the scale of an atom, and across the boundaries of time. Now, prepare to visit a new setting, beyond the farthest reaches of a nerd's imagination. Outside. I'm scared. Can we go back to a green screen, please? Ah, that's better. Eternals. Witness the MCU's grandest experiment yet about mythic creatures who steer the course of human history. From the director of that quasi-documentary about a van lady who poops in a bucket.
That's right. She did poop in a bucket.
As Chloe Zhao brings Jack Kirby's most psychedelic art to the screen in soothing grays and beiges, in this long meditation on whether our hero should let humanity die or spit in the face of an uncaring god.
Soothing what?
Beige tones.
Oh, soothing beige tones.
Yeah.
Okay, my ears did not catch that at all.
Yeah, because it was a very muted color palette, and considering that the source material with Jack Kirby's artwork is so psychedelic and colorful and out there, it is quite different, right?
That was definitely not one of my complaints.
Are we sure this isn't a DC movie?
That's Superman! Dad, that's Superman!
Remember when comic book films were about characters you've heard of? Neither do I. Now, after a TLDR opening crawl, meet the Eternals. 10 heroes as hot as they are sad. Thrill at the revelation that they're actually robots designed by an alien god to fight creatures who look like your unsorted cable drawer, who themselves were designed to eat the dinosaurs until things got out of hand. You know what? Just forget it. It's dumb. Just meet the Eternals.
Hi.
There's Thena, a warrior who freaks out when she remembers she's Angelina Jolie and shouldn't be sharing screen time with these nobodies. Gilgamesh, who's never met a problem he couldn't fist. Fastos, who does all his science by way of Naruto hand signs. Druid, he sucks.
Druid sucks.
Ajak, keeper of the sacred iPhone Gold Orb Edition that lets her call Daddy.
Ajak.
Makari, who should have been called Fastos, because holy crap, how are we supposed to keep all these characters straight?
Oh my gosh. That's right. 'Cause she's fast.
She is fast, but
I understand that it doesn't mean that at all, but it just would go with it.
It's a good joke.
Yeah,
it's a good joke.
word. It's just that makes so much more sense.
A pixie with the power of being small and having a knife.
No, she makes illusions.
I'm sorry, Cersei.
Kingo, a Bollywood star who makes you wonder if all the time Kumail spent getting jacked should have gone to dance lessons instead.
Yep. Well, if he had known, that's not his fault.
It's not his fault.
Icarus,
I
who's like
hurt
Superman
for him.
if he had to be convinced that human life had any value. So like, you know, Zack Snyder Superman. And Cersei, whose warm, dignified performance is impossible to focus on because someone thought it wouldn't be distracting to pair a Cersei with two of the leads from Game of Thrones.
You're very beautiful, Cersei. I love you, Cersei.
No, you love Daenerys. Or maybe Marjorie Tyrell. I'm still hashing out my erotic fanfic.
I don't want it. I never have.
Oh, yes, you do. Now kiss. Strap in for a movie that's all about tracking down characters you just met a few minutes ago.
We need to find the others. We need to go find the others.
We have to bring everyone back together.
And since no one thought to set up a group text, take a whirlwind tour of all their solo projects, whether they're just chilling on a Marvel-issued retirement farm, WandaVisioning before it was cool,
Druid sucks.
He does, sir.
nuking Japan,
I did this.
or they just got left back on the spaceship like a baby in a hot car. But once these neutral Avengers have reassembled, they'll discover their secret mission to literally f the world, as they learn their true purpose was to fertilize Earth with enough man matter to hatch a Celestial. Sorry for phrasing it that way. I'm just unsatisfied after Marvel's first sex scene, i.e. 3 dimly lit pumps in the missionary position. Can you believe that's all we get? Look what Kingo did for this film. And you don't even pop his shirt off? You gotta reward that effort. Eternals 2, The Search for Kingo's Dingo. Let's make it happen. So if your idea of fun is watching 10 people debate the trolley problem for 2.5 hours, where the closest thing to a relatable character is an immortal movie star's human pet,
He's worked with me for 50 years.
fly, don't
was
walk to your
brilliant.
nearest couch for the film that puts the universe in MCU, that despite the reviews is far from the worst in the franchise.
Are you well, Eric?
I can't get too excited.
Not even a little excited.
Tony, how do you go to the bathroom in your suit? Just like that.
They just tried to do something a little different this time. But don't worry, Marvel will never make that mistake again. Phew. Starring
That was different, though. To bring back all the old Spider-Man, I guess it's not an experiment. I guess you're just feeding the fan base what they want.
Yeah,
but
this was out there for sure.
Yes, it was. Maybe it's not so much a risk as it is just a challenge to bring them back together. I don't know. You have no idea how that's going to go over. How do you even make that story work?
They did a really great job on No Way Home, but let's face it, it was a lot of fan service.
I mean, there's a lot of plot holes in that movie. It's just fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
Whereas this is, it's trying to be highbrow.
I think that this movie would have worked better if you
As a
had
series.
if you had one of the characters taking a shit in a bucket. Let's be
We
real.
just needed to see a shit in a bucket.
Exactly.
Stark Kent. This wasn't in the script. Angelina Jolie genuinely doesn't know how a toaster works. Selma Dayak.
The fling in the north.
The Big Dick. Silicon Valet. Sprite Ginger Zero Sugar. Shaper Boy. Dev Schlepper. Druid Sucks. Bury me with my
They
golden
keep
arm.
coming back to that.
Clifford the Big Red God. Gotta catch 'em all. Rope him on. All right, you're in this movie too. Patent pending. And Harry Styles. Eternal runtime of the plotless grind.
Damn.
Why is Sprite going to school? She's thousands of years old, not trying to meet kids her own age. What's she gonna learn in 7th grade? Okay, maybe Spanish.
Somos amigos de la universidad.
Maybe Spanish. Because her Spanish was not great.
Oh, bless her.
It wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if she was told that she had to do Spanish like that day.
Right.
If she was just given, oh, by the way, you have to say these words in Spanish. Okay, given how they handled Kumail Nanjiani, I'm like, it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if she was given those words to do like a week before.
Yeah, it is kind of disappointing that he didn't get his shirtless scene. He worked so hard for it, I remember reading those articles when it came out that he had been cast in this movie and he got so jacked and everything, and it's like, well, at least your arms look great. You could have just worked out your biceps and triceps and shoulders. You didn't need to get the 6-pack.
Watching this makes me come back to the notion that we've been saying over and over, which is Eternals would have worked better as a show because they're trying to cram so much information that is like seeds for the rest of the MCU. Like,
Right.
That's really all this movie is. It's a major setup for what's to come next. In that regard, it's frustrating because it's almost like taking a shit on one of the coolest possible stories that MCU has to offer. There's the right way to do it and there's the fast way to do it. At this point, I'm just like, well.
Yeah, it could have been great.
First off, I don't know why they kept making the joke about Druig sucks, because I didn't feel that when I watched the movie.
Yeah, Druig was really good. Maybe that's the joke. They keep saying that in the film. Like, Druig sucks. But he doesn't suck. He's pretty cool. Although apparently, I saw someone comment in one of our videos on the Eternals that when they read the comics, they actually hated the character Druig. But the actor who played him, he did such a great job. I mean, I liked him. I thought he was interesting and
Okay,
he was cool.
maybe that's
I
something
liked
that just
his
didn't
kinda
translate from the
snippy
comic to the
attitude.
movie then. It was supposed to be that you didn't like him.
But he's so good. You're like, well, how can I not like you?
Well, I
You're
think
like
that-
a lovable asshole.
I think that some details just didn't make it to the screen. When they were making the films to Harry Potter,
Yeah.
there were certain details that were left out of the film that suddenly didn't make sense to leave out because the people making the movie didn't know the whole story. They didn't know the trajectory of everything because J.K. Rowling didn't tell them everything they needed to know. The only
Right.
person who knew where anything was headed was the guy who played Snape.
Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman. He's the only one who knew where everything was headed. But outside of him, no one really knew. They left out important details that they then had to just drop into the films in the later installments,
Sure.
even though that didn't make any sense. What I'm trying to say is sometimes things just don't make it to the screen when they really need to. And that could have been something that needed to make it to the screen to make more sense of things. But at the end of the movie, he's a good guy. So, like, are you supposed to hate him?
No, I think it's just when this person said that they hated his character, it wasn't that he was, I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of putting my own spin on this now, but I don't think it was because he was bad. It was just that he was just an
annoying person.
Annoying character, or like self-righteous or something. You know,
Right.
there's those characters who are good guys, but they're pompous and arrogant, and you're just like, ugh, hate you.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is he was kind of that, but you understood where he was coming from.
Yeah, and he was interesting and cool.
Yeah.
Like, the actors in this were really good. The reason why I kind of groaned and laughed when they did the alternative title for this was like something about the plotless grind or something. It's like, yeah, it kind of felt like that. Like, it had all the components to be really good, but for that reason, it just kind of did feel like, all right, what now? Like, I like the characters. It's really pretty, but like, okay, you got to give me more than that,
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Anyway, this was, Eternal.